Hello everyone, this is Tim, SamY7, and I don't know, this is kind of a different idea I had today. I was thinking a little bit about gaming and food, and I don't know about the rest of you, but I kind of have a love affair with food. I really look forward to going out to eat or having different types of food available. Uh, I think a big favorite for gamers is, at least where I'm at, is pizza. Um, and sometimes there's some issues with how do we divide the bill. Did everybody bring uh, a 20 spot and there's no change to come to a conclusion. um, in the campaign I'm running right now, uh, there's just a local like gas station slash convenience store, and I pretty much just tell everybody, you know buy your own food. That way there's no hard feelings. uh, there's no feeling like the one guy always doesn't throw in enough money for it, or whatever. It just makes it a lot easier. Um, so that's two ways of doing it. You can get some sort of food, maybe delivered, or maybe someone can pick up the food before you start playing, and they just kind of bring it in, and maybe you eat before you even get to play. In a lot of the groups I found that there's usually about a half an hour to an hour of time where you just, you shoot the breeze, you talk to each other, you just kind of like come down and kind of really get in the mood and just have a little bit of camaraderie with the different players. So you can all throw in for something, just a pool of money. You can have someone bring it. Maybe in your gaming group, you have like a set schedule, like, okay, this week you're buying food, next week I'll buy food, and just go through everybody. Um, a lot of times the GM kind of gets stuck for this. In some of my earlier groups, I found that I was buying a lot of pop or soda, depending on where you live. Uh, just some beverages. Lately in this group, I just give beer to people if they want that. If I have anything in the fridge. Um, Food in the past, I just whip together some hamburgers or something, just enough to give somebody something to eat. I would GM and cook. I'd just be at the stove, and every once in a while I turn around, and the spatulas would be going in the air, and I'd be role playing. Uh, but it depends on your group and what you feel comfortable doing. A lot of times I'm the GM, and the group is playing at my place. So I found that it's usually best to maybe bring it up before you even start gaming. Like, yeah, if you guys wouldn't mind, if you could bring your own food, or um, we can sort of work something out. Um, because there's a tendency for the GM to get stuck paying for a lot of the food or drinks. Um, at least in my experience, it doesn't always happen that way. And some people were really cool. I had one player, Brian, and he used to bring leftovers from parties, and his wife would always overcook, so he'd always bring these great leftovers in, and it was kind of a nice thing for him to come in. He'd bring like 4 or 5 dishes, and we just go to town. Um, so maybe you make food. Maybe you cook for your group, or have your significant other cook for you, and you just bring in all their hard work and take credit for it. uh, so I don't know. I really like food. I really like gaming, and there's the old adage, like, your character sheet got pizza damage. When you kind of get like pizza sauce on your character sheet. Uh, Whatever, or you get Mountain Dew damage on your character sheet, because there's always one clumsy person. I've told people in the past that I'm very very clumsy, and I have this aura of destruction around me, where if I touch something, it has a high percentage chance of breaking. I swear there's invisible gremlins that just run around me and just destroy things. Uh, I never really learned that old adage of you shouldn't push something too far. If it's not going, just stop. Yeah, I just break it. uh, but so food. Another thing with gaming and food is that a lot of gamers, really don't make the best choices when they're eating food while they're playing. There's the potato chips, the I don't know, the snack cakes, the ho hos, the Swiss cake rolls. I've been known to pound a box of those while I'm sitting on the table. Things like granola bars, I don't know, they're a little bit better, but uh, I don't know, they're kind of bad sometimes too if you eat too many of them. Uh, I have a gaming club, and it's kind of like a potluck situation where everybody kind of brings something. It's usually chips or sometimes fruit, and they just throw it on the table. Most of the choices are bad for you, especially if you eat a lot of them. But I don't know. What I was thinking was that there's some good alternatives to some of the more standard foods. I think pizza is probably the probably number one favorite food while gaming. But chips and salsa, I'm sure, are in there too. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you guys over in the UK have different things. Maybe you guys have like I don't even know. I'd probably just piss you guys off. Like come up with like a stereotypical meal for you guys. But I don't know. What do you guys eat over there in the UK or you know over there in Ireland? I have no idea. I'm guessing you're the same, but maybe that's totally different. I don't know. Maybe you sit down to a real full-fledged meal before you game. I have no idea. But over here I don't know. I think we're a little bit rounder than you guys, but I could be wrong. I know my weight kind of fluctuates pretty dramatically, like a roller coaster. Uh, because role playing really isn't that active of of pastimes at times. Especially if you do a lot of GM prep, you're sitting down reading a book, writing stuff in notebooks. Um, but yeah, fruits is a good choice. I'm having a hard time even coming up with stuff. But just more general like meal type things. Maybe you just heat up some leftovers from a meal from the day before. Maybe you even overcook intentionally. The night before your gaming night, and then that way you'll have some leftovers to eat. Um, whatever you're making. It's probably going to be a little bit healthier than like snack foods, junk foods. Really salty snacks. Uh, I don't know. But just trying to think. What are you gonna have when you sit down to game? Maybe you have a set schedule where people eat before they come and they play and then they eat when they leave. Um, I don't know about you, but while I'm playing, I have this urge to just shove things in my mouth. That can come out like a bad connotation, but take it however you want. But I just when I'm playing a game, I get real hungry and I'll sit there and I'll pound plate after plate of food, and I really don't even notice I'm doing it until the end of the day. Especially for my gaming club, I'm there like 13 hours. At the end of the day, I don't know. I think it's a combination of being out of the sunlight, eating lots of bad food, and not moving. Sometimes it's warm. By the end of the day, I just feel like crap. you know, uh, I don't know. So I've tried bringing fruit. That's a pretty good one. It's sweet. Uh, you know, Instead of drinking and guzzling the soda pop, maybe you get some water. Maybe like you flavor the water a little bit, or juice. Um, Maybe something a little bit more substantial. Maybe you make just a deli sandwich, something that I don't know has a little bit more substance to it, and you're not just shoving just fat, salt covered fatty things in your mouth the whole time. But yeah, what kind of things have you made for your gaming group? Probably one of my favorite dishes that I make is this kind of it's like a 20 ingredient thing that is kind of Mexican in flavor. It has cheese and salsa and meat and mushrooms and green peppers and basically anything that I can throw in there. There's like Spanish rice. Um, Sometimes I'll throw chicken in it as well. Lots of cheese. Like the spicy cheese, like salsa con queso, and some other things. I'll just throw it in there, and sometimes I'll put some lettuce down and just dump it on top. But yeah, what kind of stuff do you make for your group? Maybe you have like a signature dish that I'd like to hear about. And thanks.